Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. And it's such a pleasure to be here. My name is Rotimi Tayo, and I am excited to be hosting you this morning. We're streaming from Lagos, Nigeria, to West Africa, to Africa, and the entire world. The Good Morning Education Show is a show that you love to be a part of, and we are always here Mondays to Sundays. You can catch us on Mondays to Friday, West African time, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And of course, you can catch us on Sundays and on Saturdays for the weekend special, and that is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. West African time. And you can also catch us up on Sundays, which is in the evenings, and that will be 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time. We've not been having the weekend special for some time now, for some particular reasons, but I believe that we will be resuming the weekend special this holiday season, just so that everybody can be a part of the show. So, welcome once again, and this is the Good Morning Education Show. Such a good day to be alive, and we will be starting in earnest. We have several headlines as we normally do on the show. We look at headlines within and around the world of education, to see how we can just have conversation on that as well. So welcome to the show, and thank you. Yeah. So we'll be starting in earnest, and we'll be looking at some of the headlines that we have today, and take it from there one after the other. I think the major headline that we have right now is that which is talking about the Sylvester case. We have the Doan College situation, and there was a news report that speaks about Doan College. It says Doan College issues important statement. This is coming on the heels of what has been happening. And I think that a lot of people have also taken to social media to address some of these issues. The management of Doan College Lekki has corroborated the Lagos Police Command statement on the arrest of all 5 alleged bullies and 3 housemasters. In a statement issued by the principal, the arrests are not an admission of guilt, but a part of the investigation process. It read in part, we understand and appreciate your anxiety and support. We plan to do all that we can to ensure that the education and the future of our dear children is not mortgaged. Investigations are moving along and we continue to work with all relevant authorities. So far, all 5 of the children suspected have been remanded into custody, as well as 3 house parents. Please note that this is not an admission of guilt or wrongdoing, but it's part of the process. The school and members of the Oromoni family have met cordially with the Commissioner of Police to discuss the matter and the way forward. There will be an autopsy in Lagos, and the school will have its pathologist present as well. We pray that following the preliminary investigation, the Ministry of Education will let us have a timeline for next time. The Board of Governors of the school is also willing to meet the representatives of our parents for discussion at the appropriate time. We solicit your prayers and support, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is a comment, you know, that also was on social media. It was more like a statement within the school ecosystem. It was more directed to the parents of the school, of the school. So, however, it was allowed to be shared online for people to watch and for people to read. And so many people have actually still felt that this second press release or third press release, as the case may be, is not really a press release, but um, people still feel that there's something not sensitive about it. Looks like if you how do I put it now? So most people feel that the the entire conversation, as it were, is still not showing a soft spot or soft landing, as it were, that the schools are not acting appropriately. Well, so many things can be said. However, I believe that the only thing that can really, really, really help is that we find out the update and hopefully experience a, a fast track in terms of the investigation. We need to really know what happened, what was the entire picture, what happened, what led to what, where were the gaps? Because also for the school to move on and for everyone to move on, we need to also see, areas that can be built into, forestalling further and future occurrences. You know, we need to know how did this happen under the watch of adults, under the watch of, professionals, as it were. Where was negligence, if there was? How accurate are the stories we are hearing and all the rest of it? You know, but I think that it's just a very unfortunate place for the school to be at, and understanding the way brands actually, rise and fall. One will really feel for Dowen College, to be honest, because no one would deliberately or directly walk into activities or actions that will put the business or the organization in a place of disrepute. But you see, it's a lesson for everyone, and I mean everyone in the education space, to be able to ensure that we are not just vigilant, but we also take into perspective and consideration the right steps to take, the behaviors to have, and all the rest of it. Um, so let's move on to the next headline. And the next headline is Uniloring bans tinted unregistered vehicles, learner drivers on campus. Um, that's another twist. Obviously, the ban won't have happened without a trigger. Um, the management of the University of Ilorin has banned some vehicles on campus with the effect of Monday, that's today, the 13th of December 2021. Daily Post reports that the ban is coming days after the fatal auto crash, which occurred last Monday on the main campus, claiming the lives of 5 persons, including students and staff of the institution. Four of the victims died on the spot. You know, a text message by the management of the institution on Saturday listed the banned vehicles to include tinted vehicles, unregistered vehicles, and learner drivers. It said that such vehicles will no longer be allowed on campus of the University of Ilorin. The management warned that violation of the policy will attract penalties as such vehicles will be impounded and the offenders prosecuted. And when contacted, the Director of Corporate Affairs of the institution, Kule Akogun, confirmed the development. He said it is part of the measure put in place by management to ensure safety of lives of students and staff. on the campus. Well, that's the sad one, you know, having students being killed or staff being killed on campus due to auto crash. And one can really understand, of course, learners driving within the campus, and that might not be the best place to practice, you know, practicing learning of driving. It's actually an undue exposure. And then, of course, in the wake of security, and to ensure that it's not intentional, I mean, it'd be nice to see that people comply, because some of these vehicles, you don't know who's in there, if it's fully tinted. You don't know whether they're under the influence. You don't know what's happening. So I think that it's a very good step to forestall future occurrences, not just to point accusing fingers, but to also solve a matter on ground. That I believe is very important. It's very, very, very important. Yes. All right. So um, let's see if there's another headline. And I think that's all about the headline right now. Um, but I just want to use the opportunity to officially wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. Merry Christmas in advance as well. Not Merry Christmas today, but in advance. All right. Um, we have a lighter topic today, and we just decided to say, you know what? Let's talk Christmas. Christmas is something that we sometimes we've had. How do you put it? Had several reasons to engage and have conversation on Christmas time, Christmas Day, Christmas season. You know, it means a lot of things to different people. And in the larger picture of the world at large, it's a big season. I think that Christmas is a season that we all must take into consideration, not just for Christians, but I think as a season that ends the year, it's a season that and celebration, season that causes us to appreciate one another. And in the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of the season, it won't be out of place for us to deliberately talk to ourselves to say, you know what, reach out to people and try as much as possible to appreciate them for who they are, for what they are. Appreciate these people in your life. You know, thank them as it were. I'm gonna practice this as well. That we spend time to appreciate people for the efforts they've taken and they've made over us. You know, we need to appreciate people for the encouragement they've been able to encourage us with, for the support, for everything. You know, Christmas it means a lot of things to many people. And today on the show, I'm going to be talking Christmas. So we'll talk about the meaning of it in terms of what should be our disposition and how should we leverage this Christmas, especially marking the end of the year. We need to think about it ourselves to begin to reflect and also realign, recalibrate. You know, use the season in the best of ways. What's Christmas according to education? How do we bring that into the picture? These are many more things that I would like us to talk about today. And joining me on the show today this morning is Olushola Olumide. Good morning.
So Friday
Welcome to
last week when I was
Good
talking, I said,
morning there.
welcome to the new,
Welcome
what
to
is
Good
the
Morning
purpose
Education Show.
of
And good morning to our tribe
bigger
members out there.
electricity
Nice to be
right?
here this
Can you
new
hear
week
me?
again.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So our topic today is let's talk Christmas, and
Yes.
I like to hear your thoughts on that.
Ah, well, I think it's like an annual routine. Christmas comes year in, year out. And like you have said, it's just like marking the end of the year. But for me, I think it should not just marking the celebration. It should be a time to reflect what we've done in the last 12 months, how we have fared, what we did right, what we did wrong, and in anticipation for the new year, what do I need to do better going forward? How can I make a better use of opportunity that comes my way so that in the next 12 months, Christmas will be constant. It will still come as long as life is. I can celebrate better. So why we expand celebration, I think we should equally expand success. The success will make us to expand our celebration. So it should be an annual thing to reflect. If you don't have time apart since the year started, if you have not been able to appraise yourself the way you are fed or otherwise, I think this session should, or this season should give us the opportunity to reflect, and so that we can do better coming year, then probably celebrate bigger. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Looking at that alone, I think that you've raised a very valid point. One of the things I feel that people fear when it comes to the issue of reflection is getting reflection right. In reflection is a balanced concept. It's the ability to actually look again and look at things. And having retrospect to that, I would like to ask, how can we easily say, with regards to reflection, that how can we say that let me put it this way. With regards to reflection, how do we look at the things that we did wrong? Is there a technique to that? Is there a healthy way of looking at the things we've done and that were wrong? Because sometimes that's where a lot of people have that pushback. You know, they don't really like to even look at what went wrong because it's not necessarily palatable. And when they summon the courage, they feel that there might be a technique to it that they are not aware of. So I'd like to ask you, is there a technique deployed, that should be deployed in looking at what went wrong?
Well, since life itself is a science, I will agree to the fact that there is a technique. However, for me, the primary technique will be objectivity. When you are using a mirror, if that mirror is blurry, you are going to get a feedback based on the state of that mirror. So at times, if you cannot really be objective with yourself, then that may pose a challenge. Yes, failing as bad as may be, having shortcomings as bad as it may be, our ability to learn makes it a plus for us. Where I have dropped the ball, where a member of the team has dropped the ball, and the consequences might not really be big or terrible, but the consequences wasn't that overwhelming this year. Does not mean if you make that same mistake next year, it's not going to consume you. So ability to reflect matters a lot, and it's a process of growth anyway. I tell people, you don't become self-satisfied. No matter what you have achieved, you are still a work in progress. So inability to appraise ourselves properly will leave us static. We'll be on the same point like a local champion, celebrating ourselves, not looking at the other side. Then if you need to bring people on board, say, see, what have we done this year? Have a round table with your colleague, with your member of staff, with your superior. And that's why in a structured environment, there is what we call annual appraisal form. You are asked to tick it yourself, you submit it to your superior, which can agree or disagree. I said, no, you've not done well in this area, even though you gave yourself 4/5, I would rather give you 3/5. So personal appraisal is good, at the same time, we can also have it as a collective thing. So there is a technique to it. So number one is objectivity. Number two to that technique will be having the right mindset. You are not having the technique to swallow yourself or to bring despondence upon yourself. You are having the technique so that you can be a better version of yourself. So I will say it is it's a good thing. The techniques, objectivity, number two, right mindset as to what needs to be done. Then maybe number three, the need to improve. So when we have all these things put together, when we appraise ourselves, we will not be shooting ourselves in the leg. We will not become depressed by our shortcomings, but we'll see it as a feedback on what to do better going forward. Thank you.
I like that. Thank you very much. And just to, for those who are joining us, thank you all for joining. This is the Good Morning Education Show. And we have Dr. Derry this morning. Dr. Derry has been moving with the movers and shakers of these industries. I'm following up like bumper to bumper, but she doesn't know. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Rotimi. Good morning, Mr. Olushola. It's you now. I'm seeing you everywhere.
Good morning, Dr. Deering.
From one place to the other.
You
I'm
saw me.
trying to be like
You saw
you.
me. What if it's my look-alike? You don't know. Eh? All right. So we're talking about Let's Talk Christmas. And we started by saying what is Christmas in the sense, not the celebration as it were alone, but the fact that it connotes with the end of the year. And Olushola Olumide was saying something, and I asked him. He said, sometimes we should use this period as a period of reflection. Ability to look at what we did in the last 12 months, what was good, what did we do that didn't go well, and all that. So I asked him a question, and I would like to ask you then that same question. Olushola Olumide was saying that sometimes it's good for us to reflect on what went wrong. And I said to him that sometimes people don't like to think or look at the things that didn't go right or that they didn't do well. And if at all they now decide to sum up the courage to do so, is there a technique that you would like to counsel us with? That, okay, if you want to look at what went wrong or what you did not do well, these are the techniques to it. I'd like to ask you, are there techniques to Dr. Day? Over to you.
So I have this culture of every year I write a brag sheet. And, like, I've written one this year. Like, it's typically at the beginning of December. I write a brag sheet, like everything I've done this year, right? Like everything I've achieved. I call it like a brag sheet. A typical brag sheet is just like that's not definition, but I see my own brag sheet is like everything that went right for me this year. It's more like me gassing up myself. Like I gas up myself so much, like, yeah, like you did this, you did that. And then, because I always say, like, people don't like to see failures, and many people react to failures. I don't even see failure as far as I'm concerned. I always see learning curves. So if you have to take stock and you are that person that you don't do well with seeing the things that didn't go right, I would advise you write a brag sheet first. Maybe because my mind is always an optimistic one. I say, write a brag sheet. Everything you did right, write a brag sheet. Then you can now start taking stock of the things that, when I tried to run these adverts, it didn't go well and everything. And besides, I'm that person that even if naturally I'm not a bookkeeper or I'm not a storekeeper, like I'm a creative person. I like to just do things like work on new ideas. I'm not that person that now starts saying, okay, let's take stock, because my mindset is like, we've done it, as in, why are we still, as in, sitting down and still analyzing? Do you understand? As in, that is not my strength. But I've learned that for you to improve any process, you need to take stock. So once I start to bring about anything, as in anything at all whatsoever, I find someone. If I can't do it myself, I find someone whose strength is taking stock and all that.
So somehow I've been able to take stock of whether the good, the bad, the ugly, and I have a daily planner anyway. So if I had to take stock, because I have a daily planner, it might be easy for me. For someone that doesn't have a daily thing of what they've done throughout the year and all those things, they might not be able to keep track of what didn't work and all that. But because me, I don't wait till the end of the year to take stock. Like let me say, for instance, in my business or in my this thing, I take stock like every end of the month. I'm telling my team we did this thing because before we even if we have a plan from the beginning of the year, I always say like the worst that can happen is if we are so busy, we do a quarterly review of what we are doing right, what we are doing wrong. I can't keep pumping money, pumping energy into what I've not reviewed, as in I'll now wait till the end of the year. No. So my technique will be if even if it is your personal life, create an habit of taking quarterly stock, as in so you would have taken stock like 4 times a year. Don't wait till the end of the year to now say, so all these things I've been doing, you now carry your book and say, oh, I've not been making money or something like that if it's a business. Number two thing, even if it is your personal life, as in whatever it is I'm proposing right now can work for both your personal life or your business or your venture or whatever. Number two thing you can do, like I always say, is be that person that you just don't will I say you just don't say, oh, I failed at this thing. Ask yourself what you did not fail as a person. Something failed in what you did. So ask yourself what did not go right in that thing, because the whole idea of failure is for you to see, to learn what didn't work. So I always say, like, don't say I don't even want to see it. Like, let me say I spent 400,000 naira, I ran advert, nobody bought. Don't say I don't even want to see it. As in, have that mindset that I want to look at this thing so I can learn from it. That way, you are not so bitter about all the things that didn't go right. You are not bitter because you have a mindset that you want to learn. So once you are able to rearrange your mind in that manner that I want to learn from the things that didn't go right, it's not so like it doesn't make you sad. So the moment I bring it, I say, this thing did not work. Like I've been running maybe a particular ad for a business since last week, my other business, and it's not working. But I'm not here whining because I stopped it and I said, let me recalibrate and see what is not working. Right? Because my mind is already programmed to learn from what is not working. So after mindset change that what is not working is not failure, it is only a means for you to learn what is not working, how not to do it again. And of course, the first thing is don't wait till the end of the year. I don't dig that thing of, oh, 1 year you wait. So if your life has been going wrong throughout the year, you now wait 1 year to analyze it. No. And of course, have a brag sheet. So it makes you happy before you come and go to the ones that didn't work.
Thank you so much. And it's just good that we're dwelling on this because I really want a lot of people to realize that there are many things that affect us, or better still, there are many things that we are yet to kind of uncover just because of our comprehension about how to go about these things. Reflection is very, very important because it's also a tool of recognition. While you might be thinking of the things you want to fix, but sometimes it might just be discovering that this is how you are wired. You know, ability to even know that it's not everything that you end up seeing that went wrong that needs to be fixed. Sometimes people don't like to hear that, but working with people, working with organizations, and sometimes when you are saddled with the responsibility of planning a retreat, especially if I'm the one involved. After we've done all the preliminaries, we've done all the case for change and all that, I tend to realize that I take the people on a journey to even discover what we call our conditional path. In other words, what it means is that what's the condition? It's placing if before what. And when people begin to realize that, they find out that, okay, do we really need this? Okay, if we shut this part of us down, what changes? What spoils, as we will say in Nigeria? And you find out that there are times that there are not things to be scared of, as it were. And that's really the real depth of reflection, where you are able to find calibration. Sometimes it's either you drifted, sometimes you were not even in the core of your path. So things go wrong sometimes for our good. It sounds paradoxical, but it's the truth. We spell things sometimes because of our good, because you find out that and this is where some techniques like SWOT analysis comes in. And SWOT analysis, a lot of people have misapplied it as well, because they carry their SWOT analysis, and you know what happens? Of course, I have identified my strength, I've identified my weakness, I've identified my opportunity, I'm now seeing my threat, and everybody's just working towards, I want to make my weakness strong, I want to make my threats eliminated. And sometimes people don't realize SWOT at first is to bring you to what we call ROG, reality on ground. What's your reflecting reality? And when you are able to identify that, you now mirror it to where you are going, or better still, to the vision that you have. Your SWOT analysis is what triggers a change in mission or a redefinition of your mission. Your mission is what you're going to now do. So, for example, if you do a SWOT analysis of yourself as against 2021, most likely the outcome of that SWOT is going to give birth to a renewed mission, or is going to give you need for defining a vision or redefining your vision. And that is when it doesn't mean that sometimes, and I've seen it happen, some people will discover that their real strength, some people end up discovering that their strength is their weakness, whereas they were thinking it's their weakness, they need to do what? They need to, based on their path and where they are going to, their strength is their weakness. The opportunity that they're leveraging on is bad opportunity. So let me ask Olushola this question. So yes, we've talked about the wrongs, we've talked about the bad, we've talked about the mistakes, we've talked about the errors. Now we're talking about reflection. What do we do with what we call wins? Now I've learned a new thing, brag shit. And I'm sure some people who hear it now, first they start going on social media. Do you have a brag shit? Do you have a brag shit? You know, so Olushola.
The line was breaking. I didn't really hear you. Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly, Mr. Olumide. I think it's Mr. Rotimi's this connection that is bad.
Because yeah, I think it's back now. Yes.
Yes, he's back.
He's back. Yes. I want the question. Okay.
What should we do with our win?
Yes, thank you very much. Number one, we should celebrate our wins. That is in consonance with a normal thinking human being. When you win, you celebrate and all that. However, when you win, while you are celebrating, don't forget yourself and don't rest on your oars, because there are challenges. You need to deploy another tactics or strategy for the coming match. You know, it's like it's in an EPL. You've won the first match, yeah, you celebrate. But you have to look at the next opponent and know the tactics to deploy. If you win a match and you go on celebrating all throughout the night, fatigue will set in. You may get wounded, injured. You may no longer be fit for the next match. So as good as it is to celebrate our wins, it should ginger us to prepare for the next match, because we keep confronting issues on a daily basis. And I think wins and celebrating such a win has a sort of psychological effect on us, a positive one that ginger us. It's like this victory strengthens me for the next battle. It gives me assurance, gives me the confidence that okay, if I can win this, I think I can win the next. But we shouldn't lose sight or forget ourselves that there are challenges coming out. And of course, that we win today is also a signal that we need to also know that if we win today, other people are also trying to win. So At times we may lose, and we shouldn't allow our losses to sink us as well. So celebrate your wins, but don't forget yourself in the process of celebrating your win. Don't rest on your hands. Don't give up. Don't go and rest your weapon and say, "Oh, I've arrived." No, because the more you win, the greater the challenges that comes your way. Why? Because you are getting promoted. As you win, you scale through certain levels, you are taking on to another level. If you are a welterweight, a featherweight before, now you've graduated from featherweight, somebody take you to a waterweight. After fighting for a while, you have conquered the waterweight, then you think of, oh, let me go to heavyweight. And you know the dynamics of the game differs from one level to the other. The kind of punches you receive as a featherweight is not going to be the same punches you're going to receive when you are confronting an heavyweight. So that you know you need to shore up your preparation, or else blow can kill that person. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And just listening to what you said, it gives us this understanding. How I put it, so Christmas is like a gift. And it's a time where we're also gifting the world. So I'm going to ask this two-edged question. So what's the gift that you're planning to gift the world, going forward? And what's the gift that you are giving this season? There are two-edged questions. So thinking about it, I know that someone like Darian now, she's been reading her notes now. Her journal is full, coming from Mentor Africa to yesterday event to going forward. I know 2022 in your head is already full, but what are you gifting now? What's the gift of your person, of your pursuit, of your skill in the now? Is there something you're going to do this season for yourself, for someone out there? And what are you planning to do ahead of time? So that question will go to Darian and also Olushola. So Darian first.
So I always say the first gift I give to myself is always a plan of self-development. I always say, I'm Yoruba, I say, me okay, listen to Yariwoja, meaning, even if a lot of people are hailing me, hey, mentor, this, you're good. I always say, like, I don't stay static. And the only way I don't stay static is by learning. Is by learning, right? And the first gift I'm thinking that they were gifting myself, I'm that person that every year there's always like, it doesn't matter if I'm broke, there has to be money for self-development. Like, it's non-negotiable. Like, there has to be money for self-development. So if there's anything I'm gifting myself as in 2022, is to pay to be in communities or to be a part of places that I really want to be as a leader, right? As in, I know it's going to cost me money, but I always say it is a gift to myself. For me to be that person that keeps remaining relevant, that keeps having the sense to teach others, I can't, like I always say, the most important skill for an educator is to learn. Like, for an educator, the most important thing you can do is to learn. You don't give what you don't have. So for me, my gift to myself in 2022, and I'm already making plans as I'm looking at it right now, and I'm saying, hey, God, like, there's something I want to register for. Even the registration for early bird stuff is $500. And I'm already calculating in my head, it will require travel and all those things. So I'm already thinking about how I would gift it to myself. There are some that I've already probably gifted to myself by way of application, like I'm going to be like on some stuff as in 2022 that I've already applied to, have been selected for them. So I already thought about those ones. Like I'm saying, that one requires application. It's not like money that would do it for me. I've already done that because I thought, oh, that's my self-development plan for 2022. So I already have, like, let me say, 2 on lockdown, and the other one will require money. So that's my gift to myself. Now, what do I gift others? I always tell people, like, when people come to me, even youth, and they say something, I say, the best thing I can gift you is knowledge. Whether I'm the one gifting you that knowledge or I'm paying for you to be in a training, the best thing I can give to you is knowledge. Because I always say, like, knowledge is such a gift. Like, you can,
what I can do, like I say, even if I have probably 1 million naira and start or whatever, as in $1 million rather, and start gifting this thing, if you don't have knowledge, that money will not appreciate. Me, I know that one. Like I would only see the money go like, and that will be it. I said, but even if I don't give you money, and I gave you the knowledge on how to make money or how to get that this thing, I would see the ripple effect over and over. So if there's anything, like, you always see me coming up with programs that maybe I even have to spend my money, I have to spend my millions on the program, but it is a knowledge program. So I'm not getting to distribute money. I would say I'm getting to distribute the knowledge that I know that I don't want to be giving you 50, 50 around, like, I want to give you the kind of knowledge that can help you make millions of dollars. And that is my philosophy. I always say, if you like, you don't have to understand it, but the only thing I can give to you is knowledge. And that is my gift to people in 2022.
Thank you. Before Olushola answers, I'd like to welcome Jude, the metaverse Jude, this time around.
Mr. Rotimi. Good morning, team. Been a while.
Jude, you are reminding me of a movie I saw some time ago. Hope will not be looking for you into the quantum realm, where you just disappear.
Quantum realm.
Jude is in a box.
That's Ant-Man.
Jude is in a box. I think we need this on the Good Morning Education show for those who always hide their faces. All right. Let's hear from Olushola Olumide. I'm coming back.
Yes, I think Darren has said it all. Gifting myself that gift of knowledge will put me in a position to gift others something better. So I want to believe that having the knowledge, for me, it is to be in that state of preparedness always. Of course, you are a witness, we've been together, and there are times you have called me in less than 48 hours. Now, that opportunity ordinarily would have slipped if I wasn't prepared. And if you are not sure I will be prepared, you wouldn't call me.
Hello.
There been something so awesome this year. The feedback has been great, and I've been so grateful to be part of training people across Africa, from Nigeria to Lesotho to Namibia to Zambia to Kenya, to Uganda to Ethiopia, and it has crossed like that. If I wasn't prepared, I remember one of them from South Africa. I said, please, can you record this session? Because where I am, I'm not even having a note with me. After talking to you, I may not be able to recall all I have said. And in less than 40 minutes, we were done. It was a blast. So it was a gift to me to do that. So for me, it is being in that state of preparedness, because I know somebody can come knocking at my door in less than 24 hours for an assignment. And if I fail, that person is not going to turn to me again. And if I tell you, oh, I'm not prepared, probably I've lost a big opportunity going forward. So for getting that reservoir filled up and getting to dispense any moment I am called upon. So there is no shortcut to it. I have to always prepare, even when there is no assignment at hand. And I have a lot, of course, I won't be on many things, but I've carved a niche for myself. As far as that niche is concerned, I am scouting all over. If I see information that resonates, I want to pick it. I want to learn. I want to improve, and getting ready. You don't prepare for battle on the day of battle. So for me, going forward, and what I really plan, I will do better. I've done it before. Want to do it better is to get prepared. Because for me, what I discovered, no matter what I have written down, I have discovered in the course of the whole year, there are many things that come into my space that are not part of what I wrote down, which I had to do. So based on that, what I will give to myself is to be always prepared. And I think in the coming year, I wish I'm able to sneak and have my personal space, be in a very serene and quiet place, thinking, reading, writing, and being futuristic and try to imagine what has not been. I think I want that in the coming year. All this hustling and bustling noise, I think I want less of it in the coming year so that I can really be.
Jude
Of
is
course,
doing
what I
like
can.
this for you. Jude, oh my goodness. Let's hear from the Metaverse Jude. Jude, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Rotimi. Thank you, team. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, so we're talking about Christmas, right?
Yes.
We've looked at different concepts. Of course, the season is also like the end of the year, reflecting about the end of the year and the likes. And we were taking some points from some of the things our analysts have said, reflecting about the good, the bad, what went right, what went wrong. And Olushola Olumide and Daring had shared with us techniques to actually reviewing what went wrong. A lot of people don't know how to take that because they don't want to step into depression or they don't want to get into a place of fear. And they also talked about what to do with the good. So I now asked a follow-up question, which I'm asking you. Um, I asked them, I said, so now we know that gifts is synonymous to Christmas. It's a season of giving. What are you giving, for next year? As in, how are you a gift to your sphere, your sector, to humanity next year? And what are you giving now? And it could be to yourself and to others as well.
Okay, Mr. Rotimi. Thank you so much for the question. You find that, I think, towards the last quarter of this year, I just thought of the trends that are coming up in education, the trends that are coming up in technology in regard to education or even outside education, and I felt it's a time to actually empower enough people for next year. So we heard of metaverse, we heard of virtual reality and all that, and I found that it's actually what can be applied to our educational system here. It's just a little bit of know-how and what to do. So my gift to education or educators is part of the training I'm offering, Create and Sell, which is helping educators create offline packages especially for remote learning, offline packages or offline courses or offline lessons that has assessments, that has everything that has to do with taking care of learning for the student. And I also have the immersive educational training where we are going to be looking at ways to immerse learning inside the virtual world where learning becomes real, where those who can't afford to go out or see experiential learning, have experiential learning experience, they actually can create that within their classroom and actually interact with objects and learning aids with their students. So my gift is more of making learning more visual, making learning more real for students, and making it reachable for to any teacher who wants to bring it into their classroom. So that is where my gift comes in, technology. And also, I have a gift of empowering Nigeria, bringing Nigerian heritages to life using technology too. That's why I started going into augmented reality, where you can our historical artifacts in Nigeria in different tribes. You can actually embed it or infuse it into technology, and it becomes real, and it becomes usable, and it becomes fashionable, and becomes trendy. So, 2022, I'm actually having a lot to do with bringing learning content to life for Nigerians, for schools, and for our environment. Thank you.
So I guess that in 2022, you'll probably be opening a tribal max lab where people,
Yeah, yes.
people,
You know,
people
our tribal mark has a significance. I know the people say, "Oh, it's old, it's old fashioned." It actually has a significance, and every mark has its own, or every institution has its own story, or has its own relevance. We use foreign artifacts, and we see is no different from ours. It's just that we tend to want to stigmatize our own, but actually it's supposed to be celebrated. We are supposed to celebrate our heritage in this country.
So I won't be surprised that we'll have. I won't be surprised that we'll have white people taking tribal marks next year.
Yeah, but not directly on their body, but use of technology, where it becomes an augmented interface, right? Using your phone and camera. That's where the Instagram filter comes in handy. The Instagram filter, because we now use it. Most times people use it for very, very lazy creativity, but using it to enhance your heritage actually is more useful at this point in time.
All right, thank you, Jude, for that. That's quite an interesting one. And as you can see, Jude is just oppressing us with AI, with metaverse things, and all that. So we can't say, Jude, show your face. He's showing more than his face. He's showing his office. He's showing his tab. He's showing his water bottle, but it's still not his real face. And as we bring the show to an end today, I'd just like to hear our last words, starting from Olushola Olumide to Daring, then back to Jude. Okay, starting with Daring now, since Olushola just, got locked up. What would you like to say? The year is coming to an end, and this is Christmas. What would you just like to say to people out there? Over to you, Daring.
My last words will be, remember that in giving, you don't have to have money. And don't be that person that says, oh, that person has money. My uncle has money, or my boss or whatever has money. And you don't see the need to gift them. Remember that gifting could be service. And no matter the level people get to, or you think they are rich or whatever, everybody responds to gifting if there is thought in it. And what can you gift people that you assume they are rich, or like you can't gift them money or something, like they like, what can you give because you are maybe at a lower this thing? I will say reach out to them, as in when they have events or they have anything, they have whatever going on, you've seen that thing put up, reach out to them, send them a chat. This is, I'm available to serve. As in this, and don't just say I'm available to serve, because people will be wondering what can you, as in this thing. State your area of strength. Oh, I can be this, as in I can do graphic design, whatever. You must have something, even if you don't, like, you will have something. In fact, if you assume you have nothing, you have time on your hands. You have time, which is one of the scarcest resource of people that are up there. They don't have time. So be that person who learns to gift people that you think have, and gift people that also do not have. Gift people. A gift is about the intention, not about the amount of money you have. That'll be it.
Let's hear from Olushola. Olushola, let's hear from you, your parting shot. Okay, Jude, let's hear from you, since Olushola is gone.
Hello.
Okay. Olushola, we can hear you.
Hello.
Olushola, carry on. We can hear you. Your parting shot.
I can't hear anybody. Hello.
Your parting shot.
We can hear you.
I don't know. Hello. My parting shot. Okay. Okay, if you can hear me, fine. What my parting shot was the coming year, going forward, always in the spirit of you better, and of course, gift the world what will make others what needs to make them better. Thank you very much.
Right. And then finally, Jude.
Oh, my parting shot is always look for opportunity to improve, always look for opportunity to make impact, and always look for opportunity to diversify your skills and actually make it more relevant to the trend, make it more relevant to the future. That would be my parting shot.
All right, thank you so much. And on that note, we will be ending the show today, and we'll be here tomorrow, God willing. We'll have another interesting show, and hopefully, maybe I'll also try out the avatar Jude is using, and also Danny as well. But we'll have a great time. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Olusola. Thank you, Jude. Thank you to all those who joined us from far and near. Thank you, our tribe members. Thank you for those who watched. Remember that all that we've shared is for you to practice, not just to listen. On that note, we're going to be signing off with our usual payoff line at the count of 2. 1, 2. It's always a great
morning on the Good Morning
Education Show. Bye.
Bye.